I'm sure you've heard the news. There's a podcast that can boost your brain power and skills. It's called Daddy Minds Podcast. Hosted by the ever-inspiring Anath Lee Wales, the Daddy Minds Podcast is your go-to source for all things business, mental health, and self-improvement. With 44 episodes available on over 30 listening apps, there's something for everyone. Ever wondered what it takes to be a top classical guitarist? Check out our interview with Jonathan Taylor. Or maybe you're looking for entrepreneurial insights? Don't miss our chat with Prakash Chugani, author, entrepreneur, and international business coach. But that's not all. We dive deep into maximizing the impact of your training workshops, the benefits of professional development seminars, and even how to make your next project a roaring success. So why wait? Tune in to the Daddy Minds Podcast today and start your journey to becoming the best version of yourself. Visit our website at Daddy Minds Podcast for more information. Subscribe now and let's unlock your potential together.
You know, it's amazing to me how poetry, just a few words strung together, can evoke these huge emotions and connect us to something so much bigger than ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And today we're going to really dive deep into a collection that does exactly that, First Creation by Sandra Nadege.
It's so personal too, right? Like reading this collection, it felt less like, just reading poems and more like she was sharing her diary with us.
Yeah, you really get a sense of her life experiences and feelings, almost like a direct line into her thoughts.
And it covers so much ground too. It's not just focused on one thing, but all these different aspects of life, like her connection to Africa, love, relationships, all those challenges life throws at us.
And self-discovery, figuring out who you are, that whole journey. It's all in there.
Right. And to kind of give us a map for this journey, Nadej has structured the book into these different parts. We start with patriotism, then we go to matters of hearts, and then love, life and lies, and finally, passion and self-love.
Yeah, just the titles alone give you a sense of what we're about to explore, like a roadmap through her world, her emotional landscape.
And she sets the tone right from the start with this quote, and it's so powerful. She says, "When I am gone, tell my beloved ones to look in my poems. Deep in the words, they will find my soul." It's like she's inviting us to really understand her on a very deep level,
Absolutely. So, ready to start with patriotism.
Okay, let's dive in.
One thing that really struck me about her poems about Africa is this profound sense of belonging, this love for her homeland, But it's not like she's blind to the complexities, the issues. It's a very nuanced view.
Yeah, and you see that really clearly in the story of Africa. There's these contrasting images, like when she says, rough and rugged yet full of light. She's acknowledging the challenges, but also highlighting the beauty.
It's like she's saying, this is my home. It's not perfect, but it's mine, and I love it.
Exactly. And she talks about the historical impact of outsiders too, right? With lines like, the whites began to mingle, to weave their spell. You feel this sense of a shift, a loss almost.
Right. But even with that, there's this really strong sense of resilience, like in the lines. But still, the spirit of the people stands, holding on to dreams with steady hands.
What do you think it is about that spirit that she's capturing? What makes it so enduring?
I think it's this deep-rooted identity, this refusal to be defined by external forces. And it's interesting, she doesn't shy away from acknowledging internal challenges either.
You're right. Like when she says, what's wrong with a few flaws as long as we stay out of the devil's claws?
It's like a very honest, grounded perspective, right? We're not perfect, but we're striving, we're trying. And in that line, but still we rise, we stand so tall, through every storm we never fall. It's powerful, almost defiant.
So powerful, yeah. And then she shifts to this really hopeful, self-reliant perspective, right? We won't beg a son of man. We will learn. We will strive. Keep the fire in us alive. She's talking about taking ownership, charting their own course.
Absolutely. And there's this little parenthetical part. The journey might seem so long, but don't stop. Take a break. Remember that you're brave, and then continue. It's like she's speaking directly to the reader, offering encouragement.
It's so personal, right? She knows it's not easy, this journey. And she's giving us a little pep talk along the way. And that encouraging tone continues in African Child.
Oh, yeah. It's very nurturing, almost like she's speaking to a younger generation. Born from struggle, forged in light, never let go of hope and trust. She's passing down this message of resilience, of hope.
She's also acknowledging the hardships, right? I mean, she says, hunger, death, and war take hold. It's not sugar-coated.
Right, but even with that, there's this unwavering belief in a brighter future. Even the most extended night ends in bliss. It's like she's saying, we've got to hold on to hope, even when things are tough.
That juxtaposition of hardship and hope. I mean, what do you think that says about the strength she sees in her people?
I think it speaks to an incredible optimism, this belief that things will get better, this deep-rooted faith. It's not naive, it's earned.
Right. It's not ignoring the problems, it's acknowledging them, but still believing in the possibility of change. And then there's need for novelty, where she describes the beauty of the land, our places adorned with fine horizons, but then immediately follows it with the harsh reality, but the sight of hungry children aches.
Why do you think she does that? Like, why put those two images side by side?
I think it's a way of saying, look, we can't just focus on the beauty, we have to address the problems. It's a call to action.
And a powerful one, yeah. Like, she's not letting us off the hook. She's saying, we're tired of being seen as trash. It's time to rise, to break the leash and dash. It's about taking control, not accepting the status quo. And that line, it's action, not despair, that brings the change we seek to share. That's like her motto, her philosophy in action.
It is. It's about doing something, not just complaining. And the line, stop hovering, sit and use your clever mind, always awake, eyes wide for the catch. It's about being engaged, being vigilant. So would you say like the core of this whole patriotism section is this deep love for Africa, this complex, layered love that acknowledges the struggles but celebrates the strength and potential?
Absolutely. His patriotism with open eyes, fueled by this burning desire for a better future for agency.
Okay, so moving on to matters of hearts, we're shifting gears a little bit, getting more personal.
Yeah, and Modern You, the first poem in this section, is really interesting. It's about this transformation, how people are perceived differently based on their success.
Right. Like the person is described as strange and a class nerd initially, but then becomes successful and suddenly people are interested. And that line, modern you and modern me, makes the perfect romance ever. It feels almost sarcastic, like she's questioning the motives, right?
Yeah, there's definitely some cynicism there. It makes you think about how external achievements can influence attraction.
Okay, but then we go to bring a rose. And the mood shifts completely. It's melancholy, reflective about lost love and regret.
The imagery is so powerful, like the golden locks of yesterday's light had faded to silver, dull and slight. It's about time passing, beauty fading.
And the missed opportunities, right? The speaker talks about her fear, her hesitation, how they ended up on separate seas. That plea, bring a rose with gentle grace, is heartbreaking. It's like she's reaching out, trying to reconnect with this lost love.
And that parenthetical message, don't ever wait until it's too late. It's like a punch in the gut. It's a reminder to seize the moment, to express our feelings before it's too late.
It's so true. We never know how much time we have, so why wait? And then Kiss You Goodbye takes us right into the rawness of loss, the pain of having to move on after a relationship ends.
The imagery here is so vivid too. The misty morning, the cold breeze. You can almost feel the emptiness, the sadness.
And she talks about those lingering memories, those intimate moments. I always loved your warm embrace, the gentle touch, the sacred place. But there are these unanswered questions, like why the person left, why there was no goodbye.
It leaves you with this feeling of unresolved grief, right? But even with that, there's this little glimmer of hope. Never be without hope. In the end, all shall be well. It's like she's reminding us that even in the darkest moments, there's still possibility. There's still light.
And then after all that heaviness, we get to friendship, which is a breath of fresh air. It's about the strength and comfort of true connection, having someone who's always there for you.
She really lays out what makes a good friendship, the compassion, commitment, patience, and love. It's not just about having fun together. It's about being there through thick and thin.
And that line, in every storm we'll stand side by side, is so powerful. It's about having someone you can always count on. What do you think is the most important thing she emphasizes about friendship?
I think it's the commitment, the willingness to stick by someone even when things are hard. And the generosity too, like in the line, I'm not God to know tomorrow, but little I have we will share. It's about being present, giving what you can.
So this Matters of Hearts section, it really takes us on a roller coaster of emotions, from the highs of love to the lows of loss, and then the steady comfort of friendship. It's a whole spectrum of human connection.
And I think it prepares us for the next section, Love, Life, and Lies, which takes an even broader look at life's experiences.
All right, let's dive into that.
Okay, so Your Love Reminds Me is this beautiful, expansive poem about unconditional love. She has these incredibly evocative images like a well so deep, an evergreen hill, and the night sky. It's like she's trying to capture the immensity of this love, its enduring quality.
It makes you feel the depth of it, right? And she acknowledges that it's impossible to fully repay such love. For all you've given, I can't repay. But there's also this absolute trust. I trust you with my heart again. It's a really beautiful expression of vulnerability.
And then there's that parenthetical part. Love runs deeper than looks. Always love people for who they are, their hearts, body, and soul, no matter how flawed they might be. It's a really powerful message about seeing beyond the surface, loving the whole person.
It's about accepting imperfections, which is so important in any relationship. Okay, and then I don't remember when, captures that feeling of falling head over heels in love, being totally consumed by it.
Loved so deeply, wild and free, a love so vast, it swallows me. It's that feeling of being completely swept off your feet.
Right. And there's a sense of vulnerability too, like, I've placed my heart in your hands to cherish, to break by fate's demands. It's acknowledging the risk, but being willing to take it anyway.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it, right? And then she says, people who think love is not enough, they haven't found their own true love. It's like she's saying, until you experience it, you can't truly understand the power of love.
So true. Okay, but then we have slap of reality, which brings us back down to earth.
Yeah, it's a reminder that life isn't always smooth sailing, that there are going to be bumps in the roads. Like she says, whenever you feel like you're on cloud nine, reality swoops in to draw the line.
It's a reality check, but not in a bad way. It's about learning from those setbacks, growing from them. Every fall leads to a rise, a climb, she says.
And it's about taking responsibility for our actions, too. Own your actions, the paths you take. Growth comes with each mistake.
And that warning, speak your truth before you are lied to. It's about being authentic, but also being aware of how others might try to manipulate us.
So, Slap of Reality is about navigating those ups and downs, learning and growing along the way.
And then we get to the monster, which is about the pain and disillusionment that can come after a relationship ends, especially if there's been betrayal or hurt.
You led me deep into the dark, sucking the light, leaving no spark. That imagery is so powerful, it really captures the feeling of being devastated.
It's like a darkness has consumed everything. And there's a sense of accountability, too. Prepared to face the monster you've made, born of hatred in shadows it's laid. It's like she's saying, we have to face the consequences of our actions, even the painful ones.
But even in this darkness, there's a glimmer of hope. Some things are lost in life so that we can find others. Maybe not as great as what was lost, but a great deal more satisfying. It's a reminder that we can heal, we can move on, we can find new sources of happiness.
And that leads us to Save Me, which is one of the most emotionally raw poems in the collection. It's about loneliness, about feeling disconnected, even when you're surrounded by people.
Virtual, but living in real life, she says. It's that feeling of being present physically, but not emotionally, which is something so many people can relate to.
Right. It's like being a ghost, going through the motions, but not really feeling connected. And that line, it's like being here, but not quite here, a ghost in the moment. It's a perfect description of that feeling.
And it's so hard to articulate that feeling to others, to make them understand what it's like, but she does it so well.
She really does. And then that cry for help at the end, see me, hear me, and save me, I beg. It's so vulnerable, so raw.
It's like she's bearing her soul to us. Okay, and then we have Lost and Never Found, which continues this theme of feeling overlooked, yearning for something more.
I saw them bloom while I stood still, unchanged, unseen. It's that feeling of being stuck, watching others succeed while you feel like you're treading water.
It's a really relatable feeling, that sense of being left behind. But even in that feeling of being lost, there's a spark of hope. But inside me was this voice of hope and belief that said, I should not give up. It's like there's this inner strength, this refusal to give in to despair.
And that image of the guardian angel is so comforting, so reassuring. But even with that, the feeling of being lost persists.
And then she talks about faith bringing contentment, which is an interesting thought, right? Like maybe finding peace isn't about finding the answers, but about finding acceptance.
Maybe. Okay, and finally, in this section, we have Infinite Loop, which takes a much broader, more philosophical look at life.
Everything in the world, it is infinite to us. A person can never know. It's about the vastness of the universe, the limitations of our understanding.
And there's the sense of disillusionment too, right? Like she talks about how humans make promises they don't keep. Humans, for over the years, they leave their promises unfulfilled. It's like she's pointing out the cyclical nature of history, how we keep repeating the same mistakes.
Right. And there's this feeling of loneliness, too, of being this small, solitary figure against this backdrop of infinity.
So Love, Life, and Lies is really about the whole human experience, the joys, the sorrows, the complexities, the search for meaning. It's a lot to unpack.
It is. But it sets us up nicely for the final section, passion and self-love, which feels like a shift towards inner strength, towards finding your own voice, your own power.
Okay, let's explore that.
All right, so another heart starts this section off with this yearning for a deep connection, for someone who truly sees and understands you. Is there another heart out there that beats like mine, so pure, so bare? It's a desire for authenticity, for someone who loves you for who you really are.
And she wants that connection to be free from all the external pressures, all the expectations. Then come, take my hand, let's flee to where the soul roams wild and free. It's about finding a space where you can be your true self.
Absolutely. And then we move to Fountain of Ecstasy, which explores all these different sources of passion and joy. She talks about soldiers, singers, writers, poets. It's this idea that ecstasy can be found in unexpected places, in pursuing what you love.
And she connects it to creation, right? Like these fountains of joy are buried in the earth's quiet allure, and it's up to us to unearth them, to bring them to life through our passions.
It's a beautiful image, this idea that we're all part of this creative process, this unfolding of joy.
Okay, and then there's Fall in Love with Poetry, which is about the intense drive and dedication behind the act of writing itself. Soul pours words, mind leaking, fingers typing on a hyperspeed. It's like she's describing this outpouring of creativity, this almost unstoppable force.
It's like a need, a compulsion to express what's inside. And it's not always easy, right? She talks about physical discomfort, the challenges of the creative process, but it's all worth it because she wants to connect with the reader, to share her truth.
And then we get to Poet in a Warrior, which is this admiration for a strong, resilient woman who embodies both strength and sensitivity.
She finds good even in the midst of hardship. She stands her ground with gentle grace and finds the light in every space. It's about finding beauty and hope even when things are tough.
It's a really inspiring image, this combination of strength and softness, and that message at the end, ladies, we would all want to be like this and we can make it happen. Gents, never settle for a woman less than this. It's a call to action, an encouragement to strive for that kind of strength and resilience.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, and then finally we have the title poem, First Creation.
Everything in the world, it is infinite to us. A person can never know. It's about the vastness of life, the limits of our knowledge, and there's this sense that she's still on a journey of discovery, still figuring things out.
It's like this collection is just the beginning, the first creation of many more to come. And she emphasizes that her poetry comes from a place of genuine emotion, of raw feeling. Poetry is not about the dainty, classic Shakespearean English, but about the feelings from the depths of our hearts, she says. It's about expressing the truth of who you are.
So powerful. Okay, so as we wrap up our deep dive into First Creation, it's clear that Sandra Nadege has given us a lot to think about, a lot to feel.
She's taken us on a journey through her world, through her heart. It's a really moving and powerful collection.
And for you, our listeners, what resonated with you? What insights did you gain from exploring Nadeje's perspective?
First Creation is a tapestry of emotions, of experiences. So we want to leave you with this thought. Considering the vast range of feelings she expresses, what would you say is the single emotion that drives her writing? And how might diving into poetry, your own writing, or reading others help you tap into your own deepest feelings?
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time.
Bye, everyone.